Yeah, second quarter in particular. I thought our start was really good, really promising start. Good quality football. Some of the things that we tried came off, so that was really good for us. Second quarter was really poor, which has been a bit typical of our games recently. Well, all year, over a quarter. Really poor. Stoppages -10, -11. Contested ball, free kicks. Just got really loose all over the ground. I thought our third quarter was a bit better, particularly around stoppages. And then we just couldn't finish it, couldn't go with it. So anyway, we saw some really promising, outstanding football in the first quarter with that group. So we need to keep asking for more.
Yeah, what's eroded their skills?
Sorry?
What's eroded their
skills? The skills in the first quarter, Michelangelo, you have to say are pretty good.
Yeah, but under pressure.
Well, under pressure, what happens is if you get loose around stoppages, that puts pressure. I mean, -10 in a quarter puts huge pressure on your whole team.
It doesn't forgive them to tackle.
No, but but you're under pressure. I mean, that's what puts you under pressure because you're not getting your share. I mean, -10 in a quarter, Michelangelo, like it's just coming out all the time, and so the game gets out of balance.
It was out of balance at first. There was a negative number there.
Not -10. I mean, you can put up with negative numbers, but it's these big negative numbers. Yeah, I think, what was it? -16 contested ball, 29-16 free kicks. See the pressure that builds on the whole team?
They bring that upon themselves.
Absolutely, and that's where we get sloppy. We get sloppy as a team in our execution. And then what happens, of course, that sloppiness goes over to your skills. So your whole persona becomes sloppy until we're able to stop and regroup and go again. So, is it good enough? No, it's not. But I like what I saw in the first quarter.
If it's becoming a consistent theme, you can then start to perhaps put the label on that they're not up to it. And you keep saying it is an exciting squad, that they do have this potential. Are you overstating?
No, because of what I see, it's not the excitement. Please don't interpret excitement as being scoreboard.
No, I accept it as the potential of what you see this group could do.
Okay, so
the consistent theme so far for the first half of the season is they seem incapable of doing it for a game.
for a long time, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So do you still believe them?
Yeah, absolutely, I do.
What
Yeah.
do you think's going on? Like quarter time, coming at quarter time,
Yeah.
like at a great quarter, you played in fits and starts most of the year, so
Yeah.
you're conscious of the need to go on with it. So what happened?
I don't know what happens. What I know is this: is that we've got half our side. You know how many games they've played? Half our side.
Played under 32 games.
Half our side. 11 out of the 22, 21, 22. It's not an excuse, but you've got to understand what those guys are going through. When they're out there trying to play AFL footy, high intensity AFL footy, the capacity to sustain an effort, to sustain the execution, is not there yet. So, to answer Michelangelo's question, no, not capable yet. Not for 4 quarters.
Do you feel like the more senior blokes could be doing more to drag the young guys?
Well, that's good in theory, isn't it? But, I mean, after a period of time, though, the workload just becomes too great. So, that's the reasoning, guys, from my point of view. The positive for me is that I saw, once again in the first quarter, I thought some really high-level football. So that means this group can do it. The question, the thing that's under question, but they can do it, but let's see it maybe for a full game. That's the question. And that's what we're going to push towards, and that's why we're going to keep strong with them, and keep pushing them really hard. Because it'll come. Because I've seen it. You see, I've seen it. I saw it last week for 2 quarters against a very good side.
What's missing in terms of what we would define as the profile on the team that will play finals?
Consistency.
Not talent as well?
I saw some the way we played in the first quarter, Michael. I mean, I can't. I'm sorry. I saw the first quarter with my own eyes. I like what I saw. I didn't change the players. So there's no consistency there. And in terms of finals, my God, you're going to have consistency to win enough games to get in a final to start with. And then, of course, you need to be really well conditioned and drilled and to win the number of games to get in before you can actually compete in finals. So we're a long way from that. I understand that. So I don't think anyone's suggesting that we're a final side at the moment.
They were in March. So, I mean, have you guys sort of completely changed tack, or has it been a bit of an awakening that you're perhaps not as good as people thought you were?
Well, with March, at the first start of the season?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed to me a lot of people were tipping you to play finals.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. That's up to them. What I know, in the first game against Hawthorn, we lose 4 players. Poor pleasure. McKay, Sloan, Dowdy. And we can't cover that with our squad at the moment. At the moment, we've still got them unavailable. Davis, Stevens. No, please, no, it's not an excuse.
But doesn't that become contradictory now? Because if you say that, then that exposes you to the questioning that you don't have the depth. And if you don't have the depth, you can't have as good a squad as what you're trying to sell to us.
Not a squad available. Players. Oh, come on, Michelangelo. I mean, be fair to the squad. I mean, I'm really pleased with the talent we've got. I'm really pleased with the talent we've got. But we always needed that talent available to us. Okay, no, of course we haven't got the experience of depth in our team. Okay, but I'll come back to the quarter I saw today, guys. I mean, I saw some really high intensity, good quality football with the team that we put out there. So no, we haven't got depth of players, as in experienced players that goes down to 20, 28 to 32. Of course we haven't. Absolutely, we haven't.
Given it's 5 weeks since you played 3 great quarters against Collingwood.
Yeah.
And since then you produced 1 and 2 quarters, perhaps, certainly over the last couple of weeks. Young squad, I mean, does it drop away? Does it become harder as the season goes on? Are you expecting performances to improve, or...?
I expect them to improve, yeah. I expect the heat to stay on the young squad.
So is it concentration then, or is it, I suppose, a physical ability that's stopping in the second quarter?
All of, probably. Yeah, concentration. I mean, to be able to concentrate quarter after quarter, week after week in this industry. There's a physical aspect of it. It's the knowledge of, be able to concentrate on the knowledge of your stoppages and the structures that we have. It's a tough game for us.
I suppose through history, young sides have tended to drop away as the seasons progress. So,
well, if that's the expectation, but it's not our expectation. We need to keep driving really hard. Sometimes you get what you expect. So our expectation will be to...
Historically, long seasons can draw very hard on young, inexperienced players. Like you said, you've got 11 players under 32 games. But is it just as important to pump games into them? Because clearly that's the way forward with young men.
Yeah.
Build their game. So even though some might flag late, you keep pumping senior games into them?
Well, only if their performance warrants it. And then, of course, if it doesn't, you've got to have someone to bring in.
Yeah.
So we must never just give games away. Never give games away. Sometimes your hands are tied on that, of course, with the scenario that you've put into place there. But ideally, no. Keep the heat on, earn your spot, and try and play a full season of competitive football. So we're not wasting time for next year. Yeah, that's the pressure that needs to stay on, and that will be our expectation.